Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is Education USA Regional, and my name is Oksana. I'm glad to welcome all of you at our monthly webinar. And today we're going to talk about mining engineering in America and career pathways. So if you are interested in this field and you would like to explore academic opportunities, this webinar is exactly for you. Today, I'm glad to welcome a wonderful professor, Mr. John from Shasta College. He will talk about his career pathway and his education as a graduate of Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. So if you have any questions related to this field, please ask during the webinar, and we will be glad to answer them at the end. And also, don't forget to scan the QR code on the screen and register for our upcoming events. So, Mr. John, thank you for joining us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Oksana and Education USA for organizing this event, and thank you everyone for participating. So today we are talk about the studying mining engineering in the United States and the career pathway. So here's an outline of my presentation. So first we'll talk about is what's mining engineering, right? So then we'll talk about the mining engineering curriculum. We look at some of the courses you will take, right? Say like some of the basic courses, some of the courses related to the major, and then we'll talk about the admission requirement. I use a couple of examples from two of the universities, and then we'll look at the career pathways. So, and since I'm from Shasta College, so we'll take a look how Shasta College fit into this pathway, right? Shasta College is a 2-year college. So in order to get a mining engineering degree, you first to come to Shasta College for 2 years, then you have to transfer to one of these universities. So sorry. So let's take a look at the mining engineering. What's mining engineering, right? So mining engineering. Sorry. So I got this information from the Colorado School of Mine website, and Colorado School of Mine is one of the major mining engineering school in the United States. So mining engineering is a broad profession. It's very broad. It's embrace all required activities to facilitate the recovery of valuable minerals and product from the earth crust for the benefit of humankind. So when we talk about very broad, you involve a lot of things. You involve circuit analysis, power supply, tunneling, explosive, right? Engineering mechanics. So you cover a lot of things that's similar to civil engineering. But then that's also specialized area like mineral, the extraction, and so on and so forth. So it's one of the oldest engineering profession. So this is one of the old, over 100 years, probably 100, 200 years, which continue to grow in importance, especially in today's context. So we talk about the rare earth material, right? So mining engineering is a worldwide activity involved the extraction of non-metallic metal or of all kind, right? So like a coal mine or like copper or the zinc mine. These are non-metallic or metal ores. And the solid fuel and energy sources such as coal and nuclear material. So that's a short definition of mining engineering. Of course, mining engineering covers so many aspects. It's very difficult to just use a couple sentence to explain it. So now let's take a look at the mining engineering curriculum. So all the mining engineering programs, they are accredited by ABET. ABET is accreditation board for engineering and technology, right? So this is the accreditation organization that accreditate all the mining engineering in North America, Canada, and the United States, right? So all the programs. So when you're looking for mining engineering program, you're looking for ABET accreditation. Right? The mining engineering curriculum, most of them will include the following study area. So you have a general education, right? General education is including English, communication, or humanity, right? Maybe social study, that fine arts, so the general education, right? And then you have calculus, linear algebra, and differential equation, right? So engineering in general, mining engineering included, they'll require higher mathematics. This is calculus. The highest level is linear algebra and differential equation. General physics, you study general physics, general chemistry, geology. Mining engineering is very important to know the geology. You'll study mining survey. Mining survey, of course, is similar to civil engineering survey when you want to build a highway or you build a structure, right? So that's the you need to conduct survey. And mining survey is similar, right? When you do the in underground mine, and you will need to dig tunnels, right? You need to drive tunnels, so then you need to find out the exact location. So survey essentially is to find the location, right? Determine the location. Mine design, so that's important of the mine engineering, whether it's underground or surface mine. So there are two types of mine design. Underground, sometimes the mineral, some of the ore, they are close to the surface, right? To the surface, and then you don't need to dig a tunnel. You just open the surface, right? You just dig a pit, and then you get our mineral ore out. But sometimes the mineral, they are buried underground, sometimes 1,000 feet deep, right? So like some coal mining, they are, I work in did some of the research in some of the coal mine, they almost 1,000 meters on the ground. So in that case, you have to kind of do underground mining. And in that case, you have to dig tunnels and the shaft and that kind of stuff. Then, of course, after you get the mineral ore out, the rock that contains the mineral, and then you have to process it. So the mineral processing is a very important part of the mine engineering. Even though mineral processing sometimes is a separate major, right? So you probably heard about the rare earth, right? So rare earth, when you get them from the underground, you get the rock or the ore that contains the rare earth. Then you have to process the processing facility or method technique. They are some can be very high tech, right? You also need to study engineering mechanics. Engineering mechanics is to study the force and also behavior of structure or solid, right? So the engineering mechanics, engineering graphics, the design. Now these days, of course, you can have 3D computer-aided design, modeling. Electrical theory, you need to study circuit analysis, electrical power supply, circuit analysis, and computer programming. Computer programmer, these days you have AI, right? AI can do pretty good to generate the computer code. So computer programming, I assume with AI now. Rock mechanics, so that studied behavior of rock. Fluid mechanics related to fluid. Thermodynamic, right? The heat transfer and mine ventilation. So when you do underground mining, the ventilation is a major issue. Just like you dig when you do construction in the mountain, you drive a tunnel, right? You're trying to dig a tunnel, and then ventilation is a very important part of it. Blasting and explosion. So you need to know the blasting and techniques and understand the explosion technique. Especially these actually blasting and explosions are used for both underground and surface mining. And health and safety, of course, when you do blasting, explosion, safety is very important, and also health. Sometimes you do underground mining, you work on the ground. In general, the mining environment, I mean, it's not like inside your office, right? The environment is sometimes it can be pretty rough. So health and safety is a very important issue. Mine management, of course, just like any adventure, the management is an important part of it. And then mine reclamation and the environmental management. So mine reclamation and environment, this is also very important, because after you're done with the mine, right? So what are you going to do with the land, right? So you're going to reclaim it so you can become farmland or for some other use. So that's called mine reclamation. Reclamation is to reclaim the area, right, after the mine is done, so that can be used for other purpose. So that's the general summary of the mining engineering curriculum. So these are the things that you will study if you are a mining engineering student. So as we talk about it, mining engineering is a very, very old profession, right? It's one of the first engineering major around. Now, in the past, there are many universities that have mining engineering. For example, the Stanford University, University of California, Berkeley, and like Columbia University in the past, back 100 years ago, maybe, even 80 or 90 years ago, they all have mining engineering department. But of course, as mining technology become more advanced, the mechanism, automation, that kind of stuff, you use few people, right? And then the mine become more productive, then there are fewer universities that actually has this program. So right now, these are the university, like say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These are the 14 universities in the United States. So if you talk about a thousand universities, only 14 of them actually have the mining engineering department. So these are listed in alpha, beta order. So University of Alaska, Fairbanks. So Alaska is pretty cold in the wintertime, so the far north. The University of Arizona, Colorado School of Mine, of course, you can tell from their name. Colorado School of Mine actually is a pretty good school. They not only have mining engineering, they are pretty good engineering school. University of Kentucky, Michigan Technological University, Missouri University for Science and Technology, Montana Tech of the University of Montana, New Mexico Institute for Mining and Technology, University of Nevada, Reno, the Pennsylvania State University, South Dakota School of Mine and Technology, the University of Utah, Virginia Tech. So Virginia Tech's official name is Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. That's where I graduated from. I have a master and a PhD in engineering from Virginia Tech, and then West Virginia University. So these are only the 13 or 14 universities that have the mining engineering program in the United States. Now, these are the universities that have metallurgical and mining engineering department, meaning these are many universities that focused on mineral processing, right? Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Now there's eight universities that have mineral processing department, combining mining and mineral processing. Now I have to mention that in many universities, they have a material science department. Some of the material science department, they may have actually specialized in mineral processing. Okay, so these are not included here. So these are the University of Alabama, Colorado School of Mine. Again, you can see they have Colorado School of Mine. They have a mineral processing. The mineral processing engineering is mainly, as I said, you have the rock, the ore, you call the ore, and then you get the mineral out of it, right? So that's the mineral processing. Missouri University of Science and Technology and Montana Tech. And so again, University of Reno, University of Nevada, Reno, right? So Stagata School of Mine and Technology, University of Texas, El Paso, and University of Utah. Now, Virginia Tech, we also have mineral processing, but it's mainly focused on coal mining, coal processing, right? So the admission criteria. So since I'm a graduate of Virginia Tech, so I've talked about Virginia Tech. I've looked at their website, and I also talked about the University of Kentucky, which I did a presentation with their rep back probably a couple years ago. So first, let's take a look at Virginia Tech. For Virginia Tech, all the engineering students, including mining or electrical, whatever, all the engineering students, for the first year, they'll admit to a general engineering department. Then they'll choose a major after 1 year, okay? So freshman admission to general engineering for the fall of 2025, the average admitted engineering student had a high school GPA of 4.16. So some of the students, they have, if they have AP classes, sometimes they count for 0.5 points. They count for 5 points instead of 4 points, right? So, and the SAT average is 1395. So that's pretty high, pretty competitive, right? So, degree in mining engineering major. So as I mentioned, in the first year, you're all in general engineering. You take the course required, complete specific first year courses, includes the 2 engineering classes, 12, 15, 12, 16. That's the foundations of engineering. And also the required math and science classes for the first year. Then after the first year, if you have a GPA that of 3.0 GPA in the first year, then you are guaranteed, right? You'll be guaranteed to admit it into the your first choice engineering major, whether it's mining engineering, whether it's computer engineering, or whether it's the electrical or civil engineering, right? So if you have 3.0 GPA the first year at Virginia Tech's freshman year, you'll be guaranteed to your choice of major. Now, if your GPA is 2.0, that's the minimum requirement that you may be able, it depends on the space, right? The minimum required to apply, though entry is competitive and subject to space if below 3.0. If you have 3.0, you have 2.0 to 3.0, then you may get the major you want or you may not. That we talk about the engineering major, okay? So then of course you can transfer from a 2-year college, right? There's a transfer requirement. So VCCS, these are Virginia Community College System students. They'll have a guaranteed transfer with Virginia Community College if they have earned an associate degree of science in engineering. They have a minimum 3.2 GPA. So required transfer GPA is 3.2 guaranteed. And then general transfer, like I'm from California, right? If a student from my college, Shasta College, a 2-year college, if they want to transfer there, and they typically have a 3.0 GPA, right? They have completed all the required math and science courses, like calculus or chemistry. So that's the requirement for Virginia Tech. So here is the admission for University of Kentucky. As I mentioned, this is the information I got from the presentation that we had with University of Kentucky rep, they talk about the minor engineering. So engineering degree are also usually selective admission, the selective admission program. You apply not only to the university, but also to the program. So that's the University of Kentucky. The minimum freshman entry required are SAT math score about 590. So that's and higher or higher. ACT math scores 25 or higher, and a 3.0 higher unweighted high school GPA. So in Kentucky, the GPA requirement is a little bit lower than Virginia Tech. But however, if you cannot take or choose not to submit ACT or SAT score with your admission application, a holistic review will be used to determine your admission to the engineering program. Holistic review means they look at the whole package, right? That's I'm sure some of you may heard of a holistic review. Many of the major university, private university, they all top university like Harvard or John Hopkins, they all do a holistic review, right? They look at the whole package. If you do not meet admission requirements for engineering, and this does not mean you cannot enroll or change your major later if you meet further requirements. So that's I'll give you 2 examples about the admission requirement for a minor engineering. Right? So now let's talk about some of the career opportunities, employment opportunity for mine engineering. Of course, you can work in the mining industry, right? As a mine engineer, either open pit mining, surface mining, they call surface mining, or underground mining, right? So a lot of this mining, for example, in Illinois, the mining coal and also in the Appalachian area, where Virginia Tech, West Virginia, they are all underground mining. Well, a lot of minerals like Colorado, for different metal mining, they are open pit mining, right? You can work as a mine engineer. A mine engineer, it's very similar to a civil engineer. So you design a lot of structure on the ground, right? For underground mining, you also have the transportation system. You need to, for example, if you're mining coal, you need to get the coal out, right? You need the underground rail, and you also need the system to get the coal out of the shaft, right? The lift is out of the mine. You can work in the rare earth mineral industry, of course, part of the mineral processing, right? So that's the hot topic. I mean, lately, mainly because the rare earth is used in many products, right? The aircraft, even the ammunition, military ammunition, and the EV, electronic vehicles. So very broad application. So I'm sure right now everybody trying to get a hold of the rare minerals, and therefore the mineral processing, the mining engineering, and mineral processing industry has become very important. Underground construction industry. Sometimes you can work in construction for transportation. Let's see, you want to build a tunnel for when you have a mountain for railroad or for highway. So you need to dig tunnel, and then that's underground construction. Hazardous waste disposal industry, and some of the mining, the open pit mining, they can be reclaimed and used for for waste disposal. I know some of the nuclear waste, they are disposed on the ground, right? The stores on the ground. The environmental protection and management in the environmental area, right? Research, consulting, and teaching, right? Like me, I'm an engineer, but become a professor and become a dean. So that's the research, consulting, teaching. So there's a lot of opportunities. You can work in a lot of these areas that relate to civil engineering as well. So now let's talk about Shasta College, right? So how Shasta College figure into this your pathway, right? Shasta College is the two-year college, a two-year community college in California. So you can see here, it's located in a city called Redding, right? Redding has about 90,000 people. This is actually the largest city in far northern part of California. So there's a major highway pass through Redding. It's called I-5. Some of you, if you're familiar with the California, and there's a major transportation corridor called I-5. It's a highway run from Mexico all the way to Canada, and it's passed through Redding. The Redding also have a small airport. They have a daily flight to San Francisco, to Los Angeles and Seattle, right? The city is located about 220 miles north of San Francisco, about 160 miles north of Sacramento. Sacramento is the California state capital. And the area is known for its natural beauty. It's a very pretty area. You can see here's the Mountain Shasta, which is 14,000 feet. A lot of people, even from other countries, they come here to climb the mountain. And also Shasta Lake, which is the largest man-made lake in California. So, and then Mountain Larsen. So Larsen Volcanic National Park is also not far from this area. Here you can see this is California, Hollywood in California, in San Francisco. Yeah, the area is very nice, very safe place. Each year there's a lot of tourists come here to visit. Now, Shasta College, we are, as I said, we are a two-year community college in California, which is a very important part of the California higher education system. As you may know, in California, the higher education system consists of California Community College, California State University, and University of California. The three systems. The three systems work together, work pretty well. So we have 75 years of academic excellence. So it's a pretty old community college. Was established in 1950. We have about 124 transfer degree and certificate program. 12,000 students. Have 18 different sport team, intercollegiate sport team, and 31 different student club and organizations. Shasta College have 337 acre campus, which is pretty large. For comparison, the Howard University main campus is 229 acres. Well, what's the advantage of attending Shasta College, right? Shasta College, we have strong academic programs, including 2+2 with the UC, CSU, and other universities. You can also transfer through Virginia Tech, right? As we mentioned, to get a minor engineering bachelor degree. If you want to start from Shasta College, so you'll start the first 2 years to get all the basic courses, the general education courses, calculus, general physics, general chemistry class, all these fundamental classes out, or computer class out. Then you can transfer to the University of Kentucky or University of Alaska or Virginia Tech, right? So one of those 14 different mining universities that we just talked about it. You can save a lot of money by going to Shasta College first, because all those universities, they charge much more than the two-year college, as I'll show you later on. We have a low cost of living in comparison to San Francisco Bay Area and Los Angeles. So that's one of the advantages. as you may know, in California, depending on where you're located, like San Francisco area, Los Angeles, are very, very expensive. The housing cost is very, very high. But our area, as I mentioned, we're in far northern part of California, and the cost of living is low. That's the major advantage. You can also live in the dorm, like a four-year university. So that's one of the thing. One of the advantage of a Shasta College is we have a dorm on campus. Not many two-year university they have. I'm sorry, not many two-year community college they have dorm on campus, and we do. As I mentioned, this area is very safe. We are in a small town, very beautiful area. It's very safe. And that's also have small classes, easy access to professors. We have now that's one of the major advantage about the community college is you have small class size, probably 25 to 35. That means you have a lot easier chance to interact with easy access to the professor, to interact with the professor. We have outstanding support. We have free tutoring, English, ESL, math, and many other areas. For example, if you take a calculus class, you have some issues, you can go to the tutoring center to get help. As I mentioned, our area is a very, very beautiful area. If you love nature, this would be a dream place. The Mountain Shasta, Shasta Lake, Sacramento River, Barney Fall, Larson Volcanic National Park, to name a few. So these are the area, the places that a lot of people visit. So here's the estimate of annual cost to attend Shasta College. You can see the book supplies, probably, sorry, I have some mistake. Why the tuition did not show up here? But anyway, so our tuition is about 8,900, right? So I'm sorry that somehow the first line was missing. Okay, and then the book and supplies, about this estimate about 1,000. Enrollment boards, it's less than 10,000. Health and accident insurance, these are all estimate. Personal need, about 1,300. So the total estimate expenses for our college is 22,452. That's mean if you can show us you have 22,452 financial support, then we can, after you are admitted, then we can issue a I-20 to get a visa, right? Now, for this number, for any major university, you talk about probably $60,000, $70,000, right? So our college, we are much cheaper for the community college. Shasta College, well, we also offer some scholarship. We have a Shasta College Foundation Scholarship for international student, about $3,000. So, and some of you may say $3,000 is not a lot, but our tuition is very low, right? As I said, our tuition is less than $90,000. So that's cover more than a third of tuition. We also offer a lot of scholarships. Last year, I think we offered $870,000 different kind of scholarship for students who are enrolled in our college, right? Those scholarships, you have to complete 2 units of coursework. I'm sorry, you have to complete 12 units of coursework, and before you can apply. So after you come to Shasta College, you apply to this. You finish for 1 semester, you maintain a 2.0 or above GPA, you can apply for those scholarships. And of course, you can also work on campus. This is one of the areas that sometimes students ignore. And work on campus is also an important source of financial support. Shasta College, we have a very strong financial position. So therefore, student they come to our campus, they can work there. Now, Italian student can work up to 20 hours per week. So in California, that's one of the advantage of coming to California is California have the highest minimum wage. Usually students work on campus, they probably pay minimum wage. In California, I think it's close to $16 an hour. So if you work for 20 hours, so that's about $320 a month, right? So, I mean, a week. So that's quite a bit of a resource that you can use to support your study. Now, here are some of the activities on our campus. So there are many activities, graduation, there are parties, cultural activities, and then there's sport, arts, music, and theater activities. The American football, we have basketball, the swimming, volleyball, theater, orchestra, so dancing, art, fine arts. That's the, as I mentioned, the area is known for its natural beauty. So here's the Barney Fall, which is about 60 miles from our campus. It's a major tourist attraction, the Sacramento River, and then we have a lot of trails. So this is the Shasta Dam and Shasta Lake, which is the largest man-made lake in California. And you can also camping, the mall, Shasta Mall, do shopping. Yeah, that's my presentation. So I'll be happy to answer your questions. So here's my email. You can notice that I have the PE. Do you know what's PE? So when I talk to people talk about PE, people usually say about physical education. Actually, PE is professional engineer. So that you have to pass, just like the doctor, you have to pass the exam to register as the doctor, right? For engineer, you have to pass 2 exams to become a PE. So usually, if you become a registered professional engineer, it's kind of considered a major achievement for an engineer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, John. It was great presentation, and thank you for covering so many things like admission process, all their like even curriculum. I was so actually amazed that students can study so many disciplines in engineering field. It was like amazing for me. And I think it was interesting for students like to see what they are expecting to study if they apply to this university. You also mentioned scholarships, and our students are usually interested in these questions. So we received like one of the question: is there any opportunity to get a full ride scholarship, maybe for example in your college? If we do not talk about like other universities and engineering programs, yeah, but how about your college?
We do not offer full ride scholarship. So we, as I said, we offer some scholarship, but we don't have full ride scholarship. But the thing is, our college, the cost is so low, right? So even you take a look, I don't know, if you get a full ride scholarship, I see cover all the tuition and fee, you go to another university if you live, let's see, in the San Francisco Bay Area, your living cost will probably be close to $15,000 or $20,000. It will be close to the whole package for us. You see, what I mean? So if you look at the number I showed you, the cost of attendance for Shasta College is like a little bit over 22,000, right? So that amount alone, if you go to a major university, that's probably could just cover you the dorm or the room and the boarding, that kind of stuff. So even we do not offer full ride but it's still just kind of like a full ride for some of the major university, right?
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
But
Yeah, we
but
also
we do
received a question. Yeah, sorry.
but as I mentioned, we do offer some partial scholarships, like $3,000,
Mhm.
some 2,500, or even as small as 250. But anyway, okay, go ahead.
Great, thank you so much. We also received a question from the student who is technical high school graduate, and the question is like if the student is going to apply to mechanical engineering in the United States, what should be his first like steps in this process?
Well, if you want to mechanical engineering, as I showed you in Virginia Tech, right? Since I graduated from Virginia Tech, maybe I'll just use the Virginia Tech example. For Virginia Tech, so the student, they'll apply to the engineering school in general. So for they call general engineering, right? So everyone apply for general engineering. Virginia Tech is the first year. So because the first year courses, they are all similar, right? The first year course for all the engineering areas, like a calculus or like English or maybe like, music. I mean, you probably general educations, or maybe like philosophy, right? Whatever. These are fundamental general education classes. They are all the same, right? So therefore, you apply for the first year freshman, you apply to general engineering. Then when you get into it, everybody take all the similar classes, right? They have two foundations of engineering classes, and then calculus, and then chemistry or physics, right? Those are the classes that you'll take first year. Then after first year, if you maintain a good GPA, if the minimum GPA is 2.0, your first year GPA has to be 2.0 in order to be considered to admit to engineering major. Now, if you maintain 3.0, then you'll guarantee your first choice. Let's say you want to study mechanical engineering. After one first year, if you have 2.0, you're guaranteed to get into mechanical engineering, right? So if you have a GPA between 2.0 and 3.0, then it's depend. If they depend on the capacity. If the mechanical engineering department, they can accommodate you, they can admit you, but that's no guarantee. But if you maintain 3.0 in the first year, you'll be guaranteed to mechanical engineering. Yeah. So you can see that Virginia Tech, I think their GPA for freshman admissions like 4.16, and then the combined SAT for the math and English sections like 1,394 something, close to 1,400. So that's pretty high. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. So I think we have covered everything, like all the steps, all the things, and even curriculum. That was really great. Maybe just like some final wishes to our international students, or maybe like advice. What should they do if they would like to be a prospective student and get this admission, this acceptance letter to the university?
Yeah, one thing that I'd like to see is, I mean, there are like 4,000, college universities in the United States. You have a lot of options. I mean, you have to look at your own academic background, look at your family financial position. I guess these are probably the two main things. If you have very, very, very strong academic background, I'm sure that you have a lot more choice. On the other hand, if the academic background is general, then you still have a lot of options. You can start from community college, right? So for community college, the advantage is, number one, the admission is very straightforward. All they need is a high school graduate, right? That's for most of community college. If you have diploma from high school, then you'll be admitted to community college, right? So that's pretty straightforward. And also for community college, if you don't have your family don't have a lot of financial resources, and that's also maybe a good place to start, because the most of the community college, the tuition is low. Now, particularly like for Shasta College, right? All we you need to show is that you have about $22,000, which is probably one third or one fourth of the university cost, right? So you can start from there. I mean, if you do well, as you can see, you can still transfer to Virginia Tech, right? Transfer to Virginia Tech for the last 2 years to get a management degree or whatever. Virginia Tech is a great school. So, yeah, keep an open mind. There's a lot of choices, a lot of people like the Oksana, they are helping you, right? Like I'm here, so we are all trying to help you. And, yeah, try to find help and keep an open mind. There's a lot of options, so be optimistic about your chances. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Dear students, thank you for watching us today. If you have questions, please reach out to Education USA Center in your country, or you can ask us any questions always. And thank you, John, for being with us today. See you during our next webinars.
Thank you all for attending. Thanks, Oksana and Education USA for the opportunity to chat with the student. Thank you.
Thank you.